Second one, sum on superposition theorem. Using superposition theorem, you have to find out the current flowing through 1 ohm resistance for given electric circuit. Okay. As here 3 sources are there, if 3 sources are there, mostly such type of sum for in same exam, as every sum is for 2 marks, you will get asked to calculate the current flowing through 1 ohm using superposition theorem, considering only 100 volt. Okay, or considering only 50 volt, or considering only 40 volt. Not all, or maybe any two. Okay, maybe any two, that only with 100 volt considering at a time, and only with 50 volt voltage source considering at a time, find out the current flowing through 1 ohm resistance. So IL dash, IL double dash, IL triple dash. Out of these, any one or any two you will get asked for such type of sums if more than 2 sources are there. Everyone please concentrate, because superposition theorem numerical will definitely be there. So see here you have been asked to simplify it using superposition theorem only, and current you have been asked through to calculate through 1 ohm resistance. Means load resistance is how much? What is the value of load resistance?
1 ohm.
Right. Very good. It is 1 ohm. So sometimes in the numerical, they mention that consider 1 ohm as a load resistance, and using superposition theorem, considering only 100 volt at a time, find out the current flowing through load resistance, like this. Sometimes like this they mention. Okay. So what is the first step? Yes, first one is you can apply superposition theorem only to linear circuits. MCQ question. Can you apply superposition theorem to non-linear? You can't. Only you can apply it to which circuit? Linear. Okay. Second thing, that circuit must be bilateral. So it's a linear bilateral circuit. Third one, minimum 2 or more than 2 sources must be there. MCQ question. If single source is there, you can't apply superposition theorem. Okay. If 2 sources are there, like the previous sum, whatever we have seen, how many sources it was having? 2 sources. So you can apply here superposition theorem. 2 sources, any means both can be voltage sources, both can be current source, 1 voltage source, 1 current source, any combination. Minimum 2 sources must be there, then you can apply superposition theorem. 2 or more than 2 sources are there, you can apply superposition theorem. Got it? MCQ question. Superposition theorem you can apply with only a single source, with 2 or more than 2 sources, none of above. Which one you will take? With 2 or more than 2 sources is the correct option. Okay. So superposition theorem you can apply with 2 or more than 2 sources. So here also 2 sources were there. So we applied superposition theorem. Here 3 are there. So more than 2 or more than 2. So you can apply superposition theorem. Now what's about all the sources? Yes, which type of sources? Voltage source or current source? All 3.
Voltage sources.
Right, all 3 are voltage sources, correct? That is 100 volt, 50 volt and 40 volt. And according to this, using superposition theorem, you have been asked to calculate the current flowing through 1 ohm resistance. Okay, so what you have to do according to this theorem? What is the first step? Yes, what is the first step? You have considered single, everyone please concentrate. You consider single source at a time and make rest sources inoperative. So which one you wanted to consider first?
100 volt.
100 volt will consider. Okay, considering 100 volt voltage source at a time and making rest sources inoperative. What's about the rest sources are voltage sources? So voltage sources you have to make inoperative. Means you have to make them short or open according to this
Short.
theorem, right?
Short.
Short. Right. Okay. So according to the superposition theorem, first step is you check whether the circuit is linear bilateral or not. So it's linear bilateral. Second thing, minimum 2 sources must be there. 2 or more than 2 sources are there, you can apply superposition theorem. If only single source is there, you can't apply superposition theorem. Okay. So here 3 are there. So you can apply superposition theorem. Next step is consider single source at a time. Any source you can consider. So I'm going to consider 100 volt first, and I'll make rest sources inoperative. Rest sources you have to make inoperative means according to the superposition theorem, if voltage sources are the rest sources, make them short. If rest sources are current sources, make them, yes, current sources you have to make open. Very good. Okay. So draw the circuit with 50 volt shorted and 40 volt shorted. Okay. So the circuit will be like this. Everyone can draw this one. Any difficulty with this? Any difficulty? Very easy. Entire circuit as it is, only 50 volt you short and 40 volt you short. Can everyone do this step?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very easy, very easy. Then what is our aim is with only 100 volt voltage source, with only those who have not concentrated, please concentrate. Again, I am repeating, very important type of sum. Okay, so now only with 100 volt voltage source, calculate the current flowing through load resistance 1 ohm. That's it. Don't look at the other parameters. No need to calculate other. Only you have to go on simplifying the circuits. Any method later on you can use, so that you will be able to calculate the current flowing through 1 ohm resistance. Okay. So current flowing through 1 ohm resistance with first source I'll represent as IL dash. See here I have represented it IL dash. As it is a load resistance, that's why current flowing through load resistance is a load current. That's why suffix I have used here L, IL, okay, load current. And as it is with 3 sources we have to calculate, with 100 volt, with 50 volt, with 40 volt. That's why different notations obviously you have to use. You can't use for all IL, isn't it? So IL dash for the first one, IL double dash for second one, and IL triple dash for third one. Like this only you please do while solving the numericals using superposition. Okay, here in earlier one I considered is I1 dash and I1 double dash. All of you please mark here IL dash and IL double dash. You can mark I1 dash also, I1 double dash also, no issue. Okay, then also you will get full marks, no problem. But still in every book you will find IL dash with first source, IL double dash with second source, IL triple dash with third source. Okay, so do that. Now next is so IL dash I have denoted here. Now any method later on you can use to find out the IL dash. So what I can do here, see IL dash we wanted to find out how 1 ohm and 2 ohm are connected in. How 1 ohm and 2 ohm are connected in
parallel.
Right? Their resultant you can find out. Once you get their resultant, that will be in series or in parallel with 4 ohm.
In series.
Right, in series with 4 ohm, then that it's equivalent, and that 4 ohm in series, so you can add them and that will be the total resistance. Then total resistance and total voltage, using this total current you can calculate, isn't it? Like this only you have to simplify. I mean series parallel combination Ohm's law only you have to use. So 1 and 2 ohm are in parallel. So 1 into 2 divided by 1 plus 2. So see here 1 and 2 are in parallel. 1 into 2 divided by 1 plus 2, that is 2 upon 3, means 0.67. Okay, is its resultant. So 0.67 is in series with 4 ohm. So total resistance will be 4.67, isn't it? Total resistance will be 4.67. So 100 volt divided by 4.67, you will get the total current 21.41. Do we want this current, or do we want, is this the required current or not?
No.
It's not. Okay. What some student does, sometimes they calculate this only and that's it. It's not so. Just concentrate on the sum. This one you have calculated. Total current. Total current 100 volt divided by this 4.67 is a total current. Now you know total current 21.41 ampere. Again, go back to this circuit. This one. So here total current you know 21.41. We want IL dash, that is the current flowing through 1 ohm. How 1 ohm and 2 ohm are connected in parallel? Okay.
Parallel.
These two are connected in parallel, and whatever the current entering at this parallel junction node and leaving, suppose this one I'll mark as A and this one I'll mark as B. So these two resistances are connected in parallel across A and B. So current entering node A and leaving node B, you know. Means what here we can use to find out the IL dash?
Current division rule.
Right,
Current division
division. Okay, so very easy. Current division rule, using it you can find out. So total current, that is 21.41 into, in numerator, which one resistance you will take? 1 ohm or 2 ohm for current
2
division?
ohm.
Right, 2 ohm. Correct. We wanted to find out IL dash. It is flowing through 1 ohm, parallel to it is 2 ohm. So see here, total current 21.41 into 2 ohm divided by addition of two parallel resistances. Got it? So IL dash is 14.27 ampere. Now, as here single source is there, only 100 volt. Conventional direction of current we use. That's why current I will start from positive terminal of battery. Once it reaches node A, IL dash in which direction you will represent?
Downward direction.
Downward direction, isn't it? Because this one point are at ground zero potential. Current always flows from higher to lower potential. So IL dash, current flowing through load resistance 1 ohm with only 100 volt voltage source is in a downward direction. Got it? Okay, can we go for next source then? What is the second step now? What is the second step?
Take another source and make other two sources short circuit.
Very good. Consider now second source. So 50 volt I am going to consider and make rest sources inoperative. You have to make rest sources inoperative means both the sources are voltage sources. So make them short. Circuit will be like this, isn't it? With 140 volt shorted. The entire circuit will remain as it is. So see here, 100 volt shorted and 40 volt shorted. Isn't it? With only 50 volt. Again in this circuit, our aim is only to find out the current flowing through 1 ohm resistance. Load resistance is 1 ohm. Through it, we have to find out the current. That's it. Now here only single voltage source is there. Now 50 volt. Upper one terminal is positive. So I'll use the conventional direction of current. So current through 50 volt in upwards direction means obviously through 1 ohm. It will flow in which direction? Upwards or downwards?
Upwards.
Upwards, because current, whatever the current leave positive terminal of battery, same return back to negative terminal of battery, isn't it? So current through starting from positive terminal of battery. So same current will enter to negative terminal of battery. So obviously current flowing through 1 ohm is in upward direction, isn't it? Okay, so here now this one, it's the current flowing through load resistance 1 ohm. So we'll use the variable IL as it is flowing through load resistance. That's why suffix L. As it is with second source 50 volt. That's why double dash. Okay. Now IL double dash is the current flowing through 1 ohm, and that only we wanted to find out. So go on simplifying the circuit. Any method you can use, whatever you feel convenient later on to find out IL double dash. Okay. So now observe 4 ohm and 2 ohm How are they connected in?
Parallel.
Right, they are connected in parallel. So their resultant you can find out 4 into 2 divided by 4 plus 2. 8 by 6, that is 1.33, isn't it? So whatever that 1.33 will be in series or in parallel with this 1 ohm?
Series.
In series with 1 ohm, isn't it? Series. So 1 ohm in series with it 1.33 and 50 volt. Okay. So here we wanted to find out current flowing through 1 ohm only, isn't it? So this one only, this one. So here it's very simple. How 1 and 1.33 are connected in? Series, because same current is flowing. All of you can observe, once current starts from positive terminal of battery, it will flow through 1.33 and same current will flow through 1 ohm also. Means both are connected in series. So 2.33 is the equivalent resistance of this circuit, and total voltage you know 50 volt divided by 2.33, 21.46. Is this the required current, or further you have to simplify the circuit?
No, ma'am, this is the required current.
Right. Okay. So here directly whatever the voltage source in series with its load resistance was connected. So whatever you have calculated, that is the required current. And its direction we have seen, it is flowing in upward direction, isn't it? So 21.46 ampere in upward direction will be IL double dash. MCQ question for in same exam. Like this will be the given circuit when all the sources are there, and they will ask you find out current flowing through load resistance 1 ohm using superposition theorem considering 50 volt voltage source only. So this is the correct answer. Got it? Or considering 100 volt voltage source only using superposition. So IL dash you have to find out there. Got the thing? Or they will ask you with 100 volt also, with 50 volt also. Any two, with any two voltage sources. Okay, like this. Now the third one source is also there. So consider next step, that is the consider third one source and make the rest two sources inoperative, two sources again voltage sources. So make them short and draw the circuit. Okay, so this one 40 volt and rest two sources shorted. Okay, so this one step also everyone can do. Now see here, what's about 4 ohm and 1 ohm? Now here only one voltage source is there, 40 volt, isn't it? So I will represent, use conventional direction of flow of current. Current always starts from positive terminal of battery. Now suppose I'll mark this one as a node A. Okay, node A. Now once this total current I reaches node A, it has two paths, 4 ohm and 1 ohm. In which direction current will flow through 1 ohm? Upward or downward?
Downward.
Downward, isn't it? All of you can see it will flow in the downward direction only. You can't say I'll show here upward. It's not so. Only one voltage source is there. Only one current source is there. Current through every branch, every resistance will be fixed. It's fixed. You can't say I'll assume up reverse. Got it? Okay. So and we want current flowing through 1 ohm load resistance, and it is with the third voltage source. So that's why IL triple dash. I'll represent it. Got it? IL triple dash. Now here our aim is go on simplifying the circuit till you find IL triple dash. That's it. Okay. So see here, I'll mark this one as a node A and this one as node B. So in between node A and B, 4 ohm and 1 ohm, how are they connected in?
Parallel.
Right? All of you can observe here, 4 and 1 ohm are connected in parallel. I told you, two conditions you have to check. Which one? Two, whatever the current entering node A must be the same current leaving node B. And current flowing through 4 ohm plus current flowing through 1 ohm is equal to IA is equal to IB. These two conditions you cross check. If both get satisfied, then only they are in parallel, otherwise not. So 4 into 1 divided by 4 plus 1, 0.8. So that 0.8 resultant of these two will be in series or in parallel with 2 ohm. 0.8
Series.
in series, right? In series. Okay, so see here, simplified equivalent circuit sign. This is the sign is equivalent circuit. Means whenever you simplify every circuit and next one you draw, please represent like this equivalent circuit sign. Okay, so 4 and 1 in parallel 0.8, it will be in series with 2 ohm. So all of you can see here again conventional direction of flow of current I'll use. Same current is flowing through 2 and 0.8. Means how are they connected in?
Series.
Series. So
Series.
in series, so 2.8 is the total resistance, total voltage you know. You know total voltage 40 volt divided by 2.8 is the total current. Now we got total current I. Is this the required current or there is a need to further simplify?
Further
You
simplification.
have to further simplify.
Simplify करना है.
Correct. Because this one will again back to this circuit, previous circuit. This total current we got 14.29 ampere. We want IL triple dash. Again the same thing. See, total of 4 and 1 are connected in parallel between node A and B. Total current entering 14.29 and leaving also to node A and B. 4 and 1 are connected in parallel. So what we can use to find out IL triple dash?
Current division rule.
Again the same thing, current division rule. Okay, so see here current division rule. Total current 14.29. We are interested in finding out current flowing through 1 ohm. Parallel to it is a 4 ohm. So that will be in the numerator. Divided by 2, addition of 2 parallel resistances. 4 plus 1. So you will get answer 11.43 ampere. And direction already we have seen. It will flow in downward direction IL triple dash. Got it? Any difficulty up to this?
No, ma'am.
Very easy. Okay. Very easy. Superposition theorem, very easy. Consider single source at a time. Make rest sources inoperative. You have to make rest sources inoperative means what? Voltage sources make short. Current sources make open. And find out the IL dash with first source. IL double dash with second source. IL triple dash with third source. Isn't it? If 2 sources are there, IL dash, IL double dash. If 3 are there, IL triple dash also. Isn't it? Then what this theorem states? Whatever the total current flowing through load resistance RL, when all sources are there, is equal to algebraic sum of currents considering single source at a time, making rest sources inoperative. Okay, so they are algebraic sum. Algebraic sum means what? Now I'll assume current flowing through load resistance in original circuit is in a downward direction. You can assume upward also, no issue. Okay, so I have assumed downward. Now with reference to this, calculate IL dash, we got the direction downward. And IL triple dash also downward, only IL double dash is upwards. Okay, so using this, then do the algebraic sum. See, this one is downward, this one also downward. So IL dash you will assume positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay. Similarly, IL is positive, IL double dash upwards. And this is IL is downwards and IL double dash upwards. So this one will be
Negative.
Negative sign, isn't it? And for the third one, IL triple dash downwards and IL also we have assumed downwards. So it will be positive. Got it? Now, this is about the, with reference to this direction, we have mark here plus and minus sign. Okay. This one I have assumed here downward. You can assume this upward also. Then accordingly reverse sign you will get. Here then it will be negative. Here then it will be positive. And here then it will be negative. Got it? So any sign you can, any direction you can assume of this one, any. Okay. Upward, downward, no issue. So put the values now. So I am getting positive answer plus 4.29. What does it mean? Whatever the downward direction I have assumed, current flowing through 1 ohm resistance when all sources are there with downward direction, that direction is correct or wrong?
Correct.
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 Plus, and magnitude we got 4.29 ampere. Any difficulty with superposition theorem, sum?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So material I already forwarded to all of you. Today's lecture recording also I'll share today. All of you please subscribe my channel so that the moment I load the video, you can watch it. Means you don't have to wait till I send in Word file the lecture link, isn't it? So you will get the intimation. So everyone please subscribe my channel. ashwini.thakare@viit.ac.in is my mail ID. Please subscribe my channel. So the moment I load the video, you can watch it. You will get the notification. Okay. So next one, can we go for next one topic, Thevenin's theorem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next start करते हैं. This one. Okay, Thevenin's theorem. Next one topic. So see here. Thevenin's theorem is so whenever you get asked through any circuit, for any circuit, calculate the current flowing through so and so resistance. So the same sum you can solve using Kirchhoff's also, using superposition theorem also, using Thevenin's also, using Norton's also. By all method, you will get the same answer. Okay. So another method we are going to see. But sometimes if you observe the circuit from circuit to circuit, some circuits, if you simplify by superposition, then in less time period, it will get solved and it is easy to solve. Some numericals using Thevenin's, some only using Kirchhoff's. Like this is the thing. So whenever you have a choice, you just observe the circuit and you can decide which one method is convenient to use, and in very less time you can solve. Okay. But in SEM and SEM exam, you don't have a choice. Okay. They will give you like for Thevenin's, what they ask means they will ask you to calculate the load current, but along with this, they will ask you VTH also. Means in option A, VTH and IL given. In option B also, VTH, IL given. C also, D also, and pick the correct option. Means VTH you can find out only using Thevenin's only. Okay, means Thevenin's also you should know, and numerical you will get asked on Thevenin's also. So everyone please concentrate. All of you know that it's a software, randomly it select question and randomly you will get the question. So you can't leave any topic. Suppose आपने एखादा टॉपिक छोड़ दिया और उसी के ऊपर ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस आ गए तो you will lose your marks. You can't leave any topic. You have to do each and every topic, isn't it? So everyone concentrate how to simplify the sum using Thevenin's theorem. Again, Thevenin's theorem, this one you can apply for simplification of electric circuit, that is to find out the unknown parameters. This one also you can apply to linear bilateral circuit. Here, it's not so that only one source, means any number of sources, you can go for Thevenin's. Okay. Only the thing is circuit must be linear bilateral. So what this theorem states, whatever is the circuit given to you, linear bilateral, you can represent according to this theorem by its Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Any circuit you can represent by its Thevenin's equivalent circuit. And what is Thevenin's equivalent circuit of a given circuit? Is its you can say format or components are same. Same means what? One voltage source in series with one resistance and in series with load resistance. So what is this voltage source is called as? This is called as Thevenin's voltage source. This one resistance is called as Thevenin's equivalent resistance. And this one is Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Thevenin's equivalent voltage, VTH, and Thevenin's equivalent resistance. And what's about this load resistance? It is nothing but this is same in both the circuits. In first and in second circuit, whatever the circuit you can see on your right hand and left hand side, load value of load resistance is same. and current flowing through load resistance in both the circuit is also same. Okay, so according to this theorem, for what value of VTH and for what value of RTH, current flowing through load resistance will be same in both the circuits and value of load resistance also will be same. And that is the Thevenin's theorem. This scientist has stated such a theorem so that you will find out VTH, you will find out RTH. Some method is there specific, that one you have to follow. Using that method or using that step, whenever you calculate VTH and RTH, here I have shown equivalent circuit sign. So whatever in both the circuits, in circuit A and B, load current value is same. Load resistance value is same, and through this load resistance, same current is flowing. Okay, so how to find out VTH, how to find out RTH, that is the Thevenin's theorem, and that we are going to see. Okay, now here this voltage source is called as Thevenin's equivalent voltage, and this resistance is called as Thevenin's equivalent resistance. And in series with it, you have to connect the load resistance and connect flowing through that you can represent as IL. Whatever the circuit on your left hand side, right hand side, Thevenin's equivalent circuit will be same for all circuits. Only value of VTH and RTH and RL and IL will be different. Values will be different, but structure is same. VTH in series with RTH, in series with RL, current flowing through this circuit is IL. Okay, and this is called as Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Now, whatever this VTH and RTH, Thevenin's equivalent voltage and Thevenin's equivalent resistance, in some books you will find the symbol like this for both. V suffix capital T and small h, same symbol for R also. Okay, this one you can use. In some books you will find the second one also, both are capital T and H. This one also you can use, no issue. In some books, this one you can find. Whenever they use VOC for Thevenin's equivalent voltage, then Thevenin's equivalent resistance get marked with symbol R equivalent. Okay, is this clear? Out of this three, any one you can use. You use either this one, or you can use this one also, or you can use third one also. One and the same. Got it? Any combination you use. So Thevenin's equivalent voltage and Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Is this clear up to this? Huh? Now see this one circuit. Once we find out VTH, once we find out RTH, RL is already given to you. This in this given circuit, voltage sources value will be given to you. R1, R2, R3 will be given to you, and they will ask you calculate the current flowing through any resistance. So that one resistance we consider as a load resistance, and current flowing through it is a load current. So here R3 is a load resistance. So this value you know. Now VTH you have to find out, RTH you have to find out using this theorem. Follow the steps given in this theorem that will explain to you. Now suppose you got the value of VTH, RTH and RL. What will be the formula of IL here? In this circuit, IL is equal to what? In Thevenin's equivalent circuit?
VTH upon RTH plus R3.
Right, VTH upon RTH plus R3. R3 is RL. Okay, so IL is equals to VTH upon RTH plus RL, or if you are using this one symbol for Thevenin's equivalent voltage, VOC divided by R equivalent plus RL. Got the formula? Means applying this formula, VOC will find out, R equivalent will find out using the steps given in this theorem, and once you get it, you can calculate the load current. Okay, now how to find out VOC and how to find out R equivalent, or how to find out VTH and RTH according to this theorem, what it states. See, first step is draw given circuit as it is. Once you draw it, second step is to find out the VTH or VOC, to find out Thevenin's equivalent voltage. So how we have to find out it? Very easy. Steps are easy actually. Simplification sometimes depends from circuit to circuit, whether it is simple or not, that you can decide on your own. Okay. Now see here, whenever you wanted to find out VOC, for that what you have to do? Current you have been asked in this circuit to find out through which resistance?
R3.
R3. So R3 we call it as a load resistance, isn't it? Make this load resistance open. Okay. Make load resistance open and draw the circuit and find out the voltage across that two open terminals, and that will be VTH. Is this clear to everyone? What is VTH? Whatever is the load resistance in given circuit, it was R3, RL, make it open. So the circuit will be like this, isn't it? Entire circuit remains as it is. See, what was the given circuit? V1 in series with R1, V2 in series with R2. Same circuit you have to draw. Only the thing what you have to do, remove R3 and across this make open. Remove R3 and across this make open. So A and B, you can mark these two terminals A and B. Any of it you can mark A, any of it you can mark B. And find out the open circuit voltage across these two open terminals. Find out the voltage across these two open terminals, and that is called as Thevenin's equivalent voltage. VOC or VTH or V suffix capital TH small th, that is the voltage across AB. Is this clear how to find out VTH using Thevenin's theorem? Then later on to find out later on to find out the value of VTH, any method you can use. Mostly Kirchhoff's is used. We'll take the sum, then it will be clear to you. But what is the first step to find out VTH? To find out VTH, what you have to do? Draw entire circuit as it is except load resistance. Wherever was the load resistance, remove it. Make then it will become open circuit. Mark that two open terminals, anyone as A, anyone as B, and find out the open circuit voltage across these two open terminals, and that will be Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Any method you can use, mostly Kirchhoff's only is used for that. Kirchhoff's laws. Okay. This is about the VTH. Now, how to find out RTH? Next step is to find out the RTH. Now, what this theorem state, this Thevenin's theorem state, according to this theorem, how you can find out the value of RTH? Second step to find out the value of RTH. Remove load resistance. Make it open. If voltage sources are there, make them short. If current sources are there, make them open and draw the circuit. And wherever was the load resistance connected, remove it, make it open, and across these two open terminals, find out the equivalent resistance, and that will be RTH. Okay. What is the second step? To find out RTH, R equivalent, Thevenin's equivalent resistance. So how to find out it? According to this theorem, if voltage sources are there, make them short. If current sources are there in the circuit, make them open and remove load resistance. So see, both were voltage sources shorted, isn't it? According to this theorem. And here across A and B load resistance was there. So remove it. So here it will be open circuit. So across the two open terminals, wherever was the load resistance connected, across that two open terminals, find out the equivalent resistance. Resistance across A and B in this circuit is nothing but the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. How R1 and R2 are connected in this circuit?
Parallel.
Parallel.
R1, very good. R1 and R2 are connected here in parallel. Very easy to calculate the R equivalent. So whatever the value is given of R1 and R2, using that you can calculate the R equivalent. R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay. From circuit to circuit, different you will get. Not necessarily that R1 and R2 always you will get in parallel. Maybe you will get in series also. Different from circuit to. But here, in this circuit, R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. Okay. So that will be the R equivalent. How to calculate R equivalent? Clear? Using Thevenin's theorem.
Yes, ma'am.
Very easy. Only this one you have to follow, and everyone can do this. Make voltage sources short, make current sources open, and remove load resistance. And wherever was the load resistance, across that two open terminals, find out the equivalent resistance, and that will be the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. This is the second step. Now, what is the third step? Draw, according to this theorem, what is the third step? Draw Thevenin's equivalent circuit. That I have already explained to you, but actually it's the third step. What is Thevenin's equivalent circuit? VTH in series with RTH in series with RL. You can represent VOC and R equivalent also for Thevenin's equivalent voltage and equivalent resistance, isn't it? This is the third step. Whenever you draw the circuit, your value of voltage and resistance must be correctly you have calculated. Then only you get mark for this step in subjective type of exam. But yours is objective type. So now only you have to take the correct option. But otherwise in subjective type of exam, अगर ये और ये वैल्यू करेक्ट है तो ही ये स्टेप को मार्क मिलते थे, अदरवाइज नॉट. ओके, ठीक है. So here we got value VTH, RTH and RL is already given. So third step is draw Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Now in this circuit, fourth step, you can apply the formula to calculate the load current. Formula you already told me. IL is equals to what? VOC divided by R equivalent plus RL. Okay, got the theorem? Very easy. And this one is the result required current. Got it? Theorem? This is the fourth step. Yes, total 4 steps are there in this theorem. First step is to find out VOC. Second step is to find out R equivalent. Third step is draw the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. And fourth step is using this formula, calculate the value of load current. Okay. So in first step to find out VOC. Again, I am repeating. First step is to find out VOC, Thevenin's equivalent voltage, VTH. Very easy. What you have to do here, just remove the load resistance and draw entire circuit as it is. When you remove the load resistance across that two terminals, open terminals, mark anyone as A, anyone as B and find out the voltage across that two open terminals, and that will be Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Any method you can use, mostly Kirchhoff's is used. Okay, to calculate this open circuit voltage. Second step, calculate R equivalent. For this voltage sources you have to short, current sources you have to make open and remove the load resistance, and wherever was the load resistance connected across that two open terminals, find out the equivalent resistance, and that will be Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Draw Thevenin's equivalent circuit and using this Ohm's law formula you can find out the load current. Okay, means now see here equivalent circuit sign I have represented. Whatever the circuit on your right hand side, according to this theorem, it's a Thevenin's equivalent circuit of a given circuit. Whatever is the given circuit, its Thevenin's equivalent circuit structure is same. VTH in series with RTH in series with RL, current flowing is IL. Only value of VTH, RTH, RL and IL will be different depending on circuit. From circuit to circuit, obviously this value will differ. Okay. Now, so according to this theorem, whenever you follow the whatever the steps I explained to you just now to calculate VTH, and you follow the steps to calculate the RTH, like this, if you calculate VTH and RTH, then in both the circuits, in right hand side also, left hand side also, same current will flow through same load resistance. Okay. So you solve this sum using Kirchhoff's also, superposition theorem, Norton's also. Whatever the answer you got using Thevenin's, same answer you will get by the rest methods. Okay. So we'll see the sum on this. First of all, simple sum dekhte hain. Later on we'll see the complicated. Okay. So see, this is the circuit given. 12 volt and 6 volt are the two voltage sources. Okay. Means polarity is given, their value is given, 1 ohm and 2 ohm. These are the resistances. The question is, using Thevenin's theorem, find current flowing through 2 ohm resistance for given electric circuit. Using Thevenin's theorem, you have been asked to calculate the current flowing through 2 ohm resistance. Means here, load resistance capital R suffix capital L is what? Load resistance is which one?
2 ohm.
2 ohm.
Right. Load resistance is 2 ohm. In the theorem, superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem sum, whenever you get asked current, calculate through suppose 2 ohm resistance, then that 2 ohm you have to consider as a load resistance. Okay. So here 2 ohm is the load resistance. Now see, for INSEM and NSEM exam, you will not only get asked to calculate the current. Along with current, in the options given, just now I told you, option suppose A given VTH and IL. Option B, VTH and IL. C also, D also, and tick the correct option. Means VTH compulsory you have to calculate, means Thevenin's theorem you should know. Or they will ask you calculate RTH and IL. RTH, IL given in first option, RTH, IL given in second option. Similarly in C, similarly in D. Pick the correct one. Find Thevenin's equivalent resistance and load current. Okay. Or options given to you, find VTH and RTH for given electric circuit. In first option, value of VTH and RTH is given. Second one also VTH, RTH given. Third also, fourth also, and tick the correct option. Got the thing? Means you can't skip the Thevenin's theorem topic. You have to do that. Clear? इसके ऊपर कैसा क्वेश्चन रहेगा? Is this clear? हाँ, ऑप्शन में आपको कौन से भी 2 पैरामीटर पूछेंगे, और अगर सर्किट सिंपल है तो तीनों भी पूछेंगे, VTH, RTH and IL. हाँ, options given to you with 2 parameters or with 3 parameters. 2 parameters can be anything, VTH, IL or RTH, IL. And if circuit is simple one, all 3, VTH, RTH, IL, all 3. Is this clear? For 2 marks question. Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so see here, we'll follow the steps and we'll simplify. What is the first one step here? Load resistance, you told me it's a 2 ohm, isn't it? See here, I have written load resistance is 2 ohm. Now the next step is, what is the first one step to find out? Yes,
VTH.
right, to find out VTH. So first one step by Thevenin's theorem to find out VTH or VOC, Thevenin's equivalent voltage. For that, what you have to do?
Open the load resistance.
Very good. You have to make open this, remove load resistance, and across that 2 open terminals, find out the voltage. So see here, you can see, compare both the circuits. Circuit is as it is. Only this 2 ohm I have removed, and across that 2 open terminals I have marked A and B. Otherwise 12 volt, 1 ohm, this 1 ohm, and this 6 volt as it is. This one step everyone can do. Everyone can do this one, no issue. Okay. Now once you draw this circuit, what is the aim? You have to find out. Yes, what do you have to find out here? Voltage across VTH. And what is VTH? What is VOC? Thevenin's equivalent voltage is the which voltage? Find out in this circuit now voltage across 2 open terminals A and B. VAB. Find out voltage across 2 open terminals A and B, and that will be Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Now for that, any method you can use, mostly Kirchhoff's. If you use, then easily you can find out. Now see here, any of A, and it is a DC circuit, voltage is there across terminal A and B, means it will have the polarity, isn't it? So anyone you can mark as positive, anyone you can mark as negative. Suppose upper one I am marking A as positive and B as negative. You can mark reverse also, no issue. Okay? Okay. So I have considered A terminal as positive and B terminal as negative. Now see, suppose I am considering this one loop, which is there on your left. So in this loop, voltage across A and B is VAB, isn't it? This is the one voltage. This is the 12 volt voltage source and 1 ampere voltage drop. If I wanted to apply KVL, this polarity for this I know. This one I can form here, apply here KVL. 12 volt voltage drop across this and VAB. If I form the KVL equation, in this KVL equation, how many are the unknown parameters? VAB is unknown. What is the voltage drop across this 1 ohm is, suppose this is the current I am representing I. So 1 I and 12 means two unknown parameters are there, isn't it? With two unknown parameters and one equation, you can't simplify it. So what is the conclusion here? What is its meaning? To find out VAB, this current value you should know. Once you find out the value of current, easily you will, then you apply the KVL equation to this loop and you can find out the VTH. What my point? What I am saying? Two unknowns are there. Directly if you go for KVL equation in this loop, then two unknowns are there, VAB and I. So what is its meaning? Value of I you have to find out first. Once you get value of I, apply KVL to this loop, you will get the VAB. Okay?
Yes.
So how to find out I now? So I wanted to find out I. So suppose this one is the conventional direction of current I am using. Once this I reaches over here, will it flow from A to B? Or it will flow
No.
through another 1 ohm resistance, isn't it? So like this will be the current direction. So to find out I, what I can do now here, what is our aim? We want value of I. What I can do here, I can apply KVL to outer loop, larger one, isn't it? Yes, can I apply KVL to outer larger one loop? Yes, to this loop. Can I apply KVL to this larger loop? Yes or no? ये देखो, ये 12 volt, 1, 6 volt, this one. Can I apply KVL to this loop?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So again the same method. What are our methods of Kirchhoff's law? Mark the branch current direction. With reference to branch current direction, mark the polarity of voltage drop across each resistance. Means this terminal will be positive or negative. Yes, 1 ohm left side terminal will be positive or negative.
Positive.
This one will be positive, here will be negative, this one positive and this one will be negative. Then apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to this loop, isn't it? And then you will get the value of current. So see here. Here polarity I have marked plus minus, and then I have applied Kirchhoff's voltage law to this loop. Now loop direction I have assumed clockwise. You can assume anti-clockwise also. Now move clockwise. Clockwise, whenever you move, what's about 12 volt will be plus or minus?
Plus.
Plus 12 volt. What's about 1 times I?
Minus.
Right,
Minus.
minus. What's about next 1 times I?
Minus.
Minus. And what's about 6 volt?
Minus.
Minus. Isn't it is equal to 0? So simplified, you will get the value of I 3 ampere. Isn't it? Now we got value of current 3 ampere. Now in the same circuit, in this circuit only, with the same polarity, A I'll assume positive and B I'll assume negative, and value of I is 3 ampere. Apply KVL to this inner loop. See here, A is positive, B is negative. Apply KVL to inner loop. So see, again I am moving in clockwise direction. So clockwise direction, 1 times I will be minus 1 times I, minus VAB. See, minus 1 times I, minus VAB, plus 12. Plus 12 is equal to 0. Value of I you know, 3 ampere. Put here value. VOC you will get 9 volt. How to find out VTH using Kirchhoff's law? Clear? Okay. First step is remove load resistance. And once you remove load resistance, we want only voltage across these two open terminals. Later on, any method you can use. I have used here Kirchhoff's. Okay. Got the method? Any difficulty?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
ठीक है. RTH in next lecture we'll see. एक मिनट मैं ये करती हूँ attendance link.